Perfect. Thanks for listening to my speech, guys. She'll show the audience. This is my artifact speech. So my artifact is this picture of my parents at 21, 2002, leading an outreach in Namibia. My parents are my biggest inspiration. Their names are Michael and Emelina. He's from the Panhandle, middle of nowhere, Texas, and she's from Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, which is about an hour away. They met in Minnesota in I think 2000. Today I would just like to share about the local and international missionary work that they did. They spent about 20 years doing missions with an organization called Youth the Mission, or YWAM. And today I'd like to share about how they met, the context that I grew up in, and what they do now. So the first few years, they met at 18. Right off the bat, my dad was like, wow, she's the one. My mom was like, not interested. She was like, who's this awkward kid? Eventually, she got won over. He numerous times tried to corner her and declare his love to her. One time, he made both of them hot chocolate. It was the middle of winter, Minnesota, and they're sitting outside. He finds her, gives her the hot chocolate, and then their socially unaware friend comes and sits in between them. So there were a lot of things like that where he would try and make moves, and she would be like, no thanks. Eventually he won her over though. They got engaged, got married at 21, and then got pregnant with me at 22, and then bought a house same year. My dad tells this story about how the day that I was born, there was this huge thunderstorm rolling in Madison, and he was working on the house, but there was this big hole in the roof. So this thunderstorm's rolling in, and my mom's going into labor, so he puts this massive blue tarp over the top of the house to protect the hardwood floors, and then goes to the hospital where I'm born a few hours later. That's the context. We spent about a year after I was born. My first year was spent in South Africa, so that's where I learned how to walk, was in Cape Town, where they received leadership training and learning how to disciple and teach young people what it means to do missions and how to follow Jesus, how to be a Christian in this modern day. And as far as the context of my childhood and our family, we got to grow up in a very multicultural community because of the missions movement that we were a part of. I have a distinct memory of when my sister Dorian was born. The meal train was all these different kinds of food from India, from the UK, all these places in Europe, and had the privilege of also traveling frequently. So we spent time in about 25 different countries, which was super awesome. But we're privileged to always call Madison home, which is something I'm really grateful for, being rooted and having established community growing up. And we got to serve locally with college students, homeless ministry, and I got to see my parents serve and step out in leadership in that way. As far as what they do now, my dad is a real estate agent and owns his own business, has a team in Madison, and my mom also runs her own business in Madison doing midwifery. And she also works with an organization that helps women coming out of sex trafficking, which pairs really well with just the work that she did in the past as far as coming alongside young women. This organization helps women to find safe housing, childcare, work, better, safe environment for them and community. And even though the work that my parents do now is different, they still get to work with people, mentoring younger people, creating a safe space of hospitality in their home, and helping at-risk people groups in Madison to have safe births and find safe and good homes. So in conclusion, my parents are my biggest inspiration. They inspire me daily to live life to the fullest, to serve my community selflessly, and to love wholeheartedly. Their story has many twists and turns, and I'm sure that they couldn't have imagined the lives that they're living now at the age of 21. I'll always point to them as my biggest inspiration and biggest advocates. So thank you for listening to my speech.
So I'm going to let you hear it out.